Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Talk right here on the family station Love 101 FM. I am your host, Kathya Davis, and we do Sports Talk every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station Love 101 FM. The time is now 101 and today is October 19 and I'm so excited. As usual, you know me. So excited to be with you to talk about some sports and more sports. If you'd like to join the conversation, you can send me a WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. And if you'd like to see what's happening, you can listen to us on Facebook, or join us rather on Facebook and on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And of course, you can also download the Love 101 FM app in the App Store and in the Google Play Store. And of course, when you download the app, you can listen to Sports Talk as a podcast if you'd like to. All right. So this week was an interesting week in the world of sports. We had Jamaica facing off with Honduras in the CONCACAF United League A. And so we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the West Indies women's performance in the ICC T20 World Cup. We'll also talk about the West Indies performance in Sri Lanka. The Netball Jamaica has also announced the players for the players for the netball series. So we have a series coming up in November against England, and also the Fast 5 netball tournament that is coming up. We also see the Netball Jamaica announcing the teams for those competitions, as well as the Jamaica Premier League had some midweek games, and of course schoolboy football is also on, and we're just here to keep you abreast with everything that's happening. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into the show. All right, as usual, as we start with what's going on over there in the English Premier League, we'll start with today's results. Aston Villa, team of reggae boy Leon Bailey, defeated Fulham. Both teams ended with 9 players. Aston Villa defeated Fulham by 3-1. Manchester United, they beat Brentford 2-1. Brighton, they beat Newcastle 1-0. Leicester City, they beat 9 men. Southampton 3-2. And Everton, they defeated Ipswich by 2-0. And currently, Bournemouth, after 75 minutes, is leading. They're leading Arsenal, who are currently 9 men. So interesting things happening there. And then we'll talk about tomorrow's game. Let's see the games coming up tomorrow in the English Premier League. Manchester City will play Wolves, and one moment. Right. Manchester City, they will play Wolves, and Liverpool, they'll play Chelsea at 10:30. And that's what's going on in the English Premier League. Let's see. I mean, of course, last week would have been the international break for most of the teams. But let's see with these new results what the league standings look like. All right, so Liverpool, they're still on top of the table. They're on 18 points. Manchester City now goes into second on 17 points. Arsenal, they're in third, but they're not going to move. Well, we'll see what happens. And Aston Villa, they're still in fourth. So second, third, and fourth still has 17 points. And then at the bottom of the table is Crystal Palace, Wolves, and Southampton. Let's skip over now to what's going on in the Jamaica Premier League. So in the week, on Wednesday, Jamaica Premier League would have had their first set of midweek football. And of course, usually Jamaica Premier League would have been played on the weekend and have Monday night football. But because of the international break, plus the Reggae Boys playing on Monday, so the matches were shifted to Wednesday. Of course, they were rain, so there were games that were postponed, and I'll tell you about those shortly. But let's see the results. So the postponed games for Wednesday were Dundee Holding versus Tivoli and Racing versus Cavalier. I'll tell you when the rescheduled games will be. The results for Wednesday, though, Palmer United, they defeated Harbourview by 2-1. Chapelton Maroons, they defeated Humber Lion 2-0. Both teams ended with 9 men. Waterhouse, they defeated Villa 2-1. Montego United defeated Mullines United 4-0. And Arnett Gardens and Mount Pleasant, they played 1-0 draw. So let's talk about now the matches coming up for this weekend in the Jamaica Premier League, as well as the rescheduled games. All right, so Humberland, so this is tomorrow, October 20th. This is match week 6 in the Jamaica Premier League. Humberland, they will face Montego Bay United at 3 p.m. at Effordville Community Centre. Palmer United, they will face Chapelton Maroons 3 o'clock at Ferdimeter Park. Phoenix United will face Dunbar Holding, and this will happen at the Wembley Centre of Excellence, another 3 o'clock kickoff. And there will be a doubleheader at Sabina Park. Mullines United, they will face Arnett Gardens at 4, and the second match in the doubleheader will see Cavalier facing Mount Pleasant. Then on Monday, Tivoli, they will play Racing at the doubleheader at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. We get to see football, of course, returning to the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. So Tivoli, they'll play Racing at 5 o'clock, and at 7:30, Waterhouse will play Harbour View. So that's what it is as it relates to the Jamaica Premier League. And we're so excited to, of course, see. You guys know how excited I am when it comes on to just seeing local football. We've seen, or I've noticed the support or increased support. And then as you talk about increased support, I'm going to talk about the Jamaica match against Honduras. We're going to skip right to that now, which was quite an interesting game. I'm not going to lie. It was quite an interesting game. I like to use that word, but it was what it is. Skipping to the game. So on Monday night, Jamaica, they played Honduras in the CONCACAF Nations League Group A, or A series, right, and we played 1-0 draw against Honduras. And to be honest, let's face the fact, the match was very boring for the first 45 minutes, as almost like, this is not what we kind of expected, because there was so much build-up coming into the match that we kind of expected them to be a little bit more, pace and coming forward out of coming from the win that we had in Nicaragua. So it was kind of a pretty laid back, but one of the things that Coach McCarran spoke about in his post-match interview was the fact that it is sometimes hard for the players to still go out and push, even though they know they were only paying for a draw. And I mean, Honduras, they came close to scoring, but they didn't score. So that didn't really need for the team to come under any significant pressure to be like pushing to try to score a goal or anything like that. So, I mean, it was in 80, I mean 85% of the game or so it was just boring. I mean, it was not entertaining. It was just boring. The game was just boring, and it sucked the life out of the many persons who would have attended the stadium on Monday. And it's been a while. It's been a while in local football. So I have to say kudos to the supporters or us as supporters. It's been a while since Reggae Boys is playing and the stadium looked like that. Like the stadium was almost filled to capacity. I tell people that only twice per year you see the stadium looking like that during Gangala and when Boys and Girls Champs. And trust me, the game against Honduras on Monday really, really, really showed that people are really, really interested in what will happen with Jamaica football going forward. A lot of expectations, or you could feel the expectation of the crowd on Monday. And the reality is, sometimes it's hard because the players they come and they know the expectation. They come out and they see the crowd and they know that this crowd is very expectant, and so sometimes it's hard for the players to deliver in those circumstances. But we hope that the crowd will continue to be the 12th man, and we hope that will help them to increase their performance when they play at home, because the record now is just showing how great this team are within the past 4 games have been playing away from home. But when it comes on to playing at home, I don't know if it's stage fright. I don't know what it is, but it's just not coming together when the team is playing at home. But we're hoping that's something that Coach McLaren also spoke to. But he also, one of the things that he emphasized in his post-match interview was just that the team was playing for a draw. So mentally, it was hard for the team to push forward even though they were playing for a draw. And we can understand those kind of circumstances. Of course, the player of the match, I guess you can, on Andre Blake. He really kept us in the match. As I said, Honduras did have their chances, but Andre Blake did keep us in the match. So, that's also something to look forward to. Ethan Pinot didn't have a bad game. Lasibode didn't have a bad game. He was also at the featured player at the post-match press conference. But all in all, it was maybe like a 5.5 out of 10 for me, for the team. I saw some of the things that Coach McLaren was working on, he's talking about working on, and this transition of the ball through the midfield, and not this everlasting ball of trying to chase the forward and like that. The other players for me were okay. I don't think. Well, was he giving me even a chance? Because when I think of like the work that Tyreek McGee would have put in Nicaragua, we certainly did not see that on Monday. But then not many balls really came to him. So then that is also something to think about. But we're hoping that going into the next round, which we will talk about when we come back from the break, going into the next round, that we will be better because, of course, we have tougher teams going into the next round. So, I didn't understand that. Right, Google, not talking to you. So we're going to go for a break right here on Sports Talk, and we're going to be right back.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside June's Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Reverb. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the Family Station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythm. Hot, hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. G-Y-M, grow your mind. Jim, get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we'll share with you how young people are giving of their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Praise at Vibe. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Your boy, DJ Weaver. It's all here on the Family Station, Love 101.
You connection. Shoot up the and then pick. Keep up in everything on right before we try. Shoot up the and then pick. Keep on one that we have been with it. Shoot up.
Get ready, make a splash with the NWC Real Water Conservation Challenge. Enter now for your chance to win laptops, tablets, water station, and water tank for your school or community. Here's how to dive in. Create a song, poem, job, or skit showcasing water conservation at home or school. Submit your entries in MP4 format to Mia Jamaica at mia-water.com between July 1 and November 15, 2022. Dive in, make waves, and conserve water with NWC and Mia.
Every Saturday, 7 p.m. to midnight on Love 101. You're invited to travel in time with music. It's a gospel music machine with the gospel music master.
For the best of Sunday morning gospel, nothing beats listening to Sunday Praise on Love 101 FM with me, your host, Devil Gray. You'll hear today's favorites, yesterday's classics, and pretty much anything else in between. And there's plenty more besides the music, including Living Well, your Sunday morning health and wellness feature, plus opportunity for you to share your thoughts and send your dedications to family and friends. So get your day and indeed your week off to a great start. Tune in to your family station, Love 101 FM, this and every Sunday morning at 6 for Sunday Praise.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the Family Station, Love 101 FM. All right, so we're just talking about the Reggae Boys' performance against Honduras on Monday. Of course, that game ended 0-0, and Jamaica ended at the top of the zone. So what does that mean? Jamaica will now face the USA in the quarterfinals of the Nations League in the November window in a home and away tie. After the home and away play, the aggregate score winner in each matchup will advance to the 2025 CONCACAF Nations League finals and qualify for the 2025 Gold Cup. And the quarterfinal losers will progress to the 2025 Gold Cup prelims. So let's see. So on Thursday, November 14, Costa Rica, they will play Panama, and Jamaica will play the USA, and we will play the return leg on Monday, November 18. Jamaica will play the USA. So we'll have the home and then we'll go away and play the USA on November 18. Also, we saw coming out this week we saw information about the under 17, the CONCACAF Women under 17 qualifiers. So Jamaica has been drawn in Group E alongside Nicaragua and St. Kitts and Nevis, and this round robin play will take place between January 27 and February 1. So we keep you posted when it is closer to the time. And then in Reggae Girls news, the Reggae Girls announced their squad for the friendly that's coming up against France. And of course, we're talking about the Reggae Girls squad now. So, and then of course, I'll tell you some other news. So the goalkeepers, I'm going to go through the squad that was announced yesterday. Goalkeepers Rebecca Spence, Steady Snyder, Chantal Swaby, the defenders Chantal Swaby, Alison Swaby, Tyler Hines, Denisha Blackwood, Vian Sampson, and Malia Atkins. The midfielders are Lily Jarvis, Atlanta Primus, Jade Bailey, Drew Spence, Renia Blades, and the forwards are Natasha Thomas, Paige Bailey Gale, Kayla McKenna, Jody Brown, Sheena Hales, Tiffany Cameron, Davia Richards, and Michaela Days. And of course, we got information that both Khadijah and another player, they're currently working on sorting out some passport issues. Boy, these passport issues are never ending. The passport issues are never ending. However, Bonnie Shaw, they're sorting out the issues with some passport issues. So hopefully they will be able to join the team. Right. They will join the team. And Kanaya Plummer, right. They're rectifying a passport situation, and of course they should be able to join the team for the November window. So the November window for the Reggae Girls will see them playing France, October, November. So Kanaya and Shaw will miss the October game, which is next week, Friday, against France, but they should be able to join the team for the November game. So we'll play France next week, 2:05 Jamaica time, and then of course the two South Africa games will come up on November 29 and December 2. So also announced in terms of the Reggae Girls yesterday is that former, I can call him superstar, Reggae boy Dion Burton, he joins the Reggae Girls team as the assistant coach, and we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to having Coach Burton working with Coach Busby with the Reggae Girls. Of course, we know the Reggae Girls, they've had their own issues, but all those issues have been sorted out now with them and the JFF, and it's good to see the squad back together. The band is back together again, and it is very, 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 very good to see that. So, yeah. Lots and lots. I mean, there were a lot of movements as it relates to local football this week, boy. What an interesting week it was. All right, so we're going to skip over to Manning Cup action. Today we'll see the final round, I believe, of Manning Cup action round 1 play. And we'll talk about that, as well as currently what's happening for the round of 32. The DaCosta Cup has entered the round of 32, so we will talk about that. But let's talk about some results that happened yesterday in the Manning Cup. St. Catherine, they defeated many times St. George's College by 1-0 and Norman Manley, they defeated Holy Trinity by 2-1. Games coming up today, and all the games start They'll start at 3:30. Jonathan Grant will face Gainstead. Start would face Haile Selassie. Vauxhall plays Kingston Technical. Jamaica College plays Bridgeport. Ascot plays Excelsior. Hardale plays Eltham. Calabar plays Camperdown. Orion plays Clancarthy. Mona plays Charlie Smith. And Waterford will play Tarrant. And then what's happening as it relates to the Costa Cup, I know for sure that at the beginning of the round of 32 that Glenmere, so we'll go back to Thursday because that's when the Costa Cup had played. We'll go back to the results from Thursday. On Thursday, at the beginning of the round of 32, Rossies defeated Spot Valley 1-0. Froomtech defeated Cedric Titus 3-0. Monroe defeated Alphonsus Davis 2-0. Belair and Denby, they played to a 1-1 draw. Central defeated Yalas 2-0. And Glenmure, yes, Glenmure defeated Clarendon College 2-0. And if you know anything about what's happening or what happened last season with Glenmure and Clarendon, this is a big result at the top of the round of 32. All right, so let's give you the games that are on today. In the Costa Cup round of 32, Christiana, they'll play St. Mary. That match kicks off at 2 o'clock. Homewood, they will play Belair. That one kicks off at 4. Another 4 o'clock kickoff now is Titchfield versus Glenmure, Happy Grove versus Denby, and 3:30 kickoff between Port Antonio versus Yalas. Racines will play Cornwall College. Another 3:30 kickoff. Another 2 o'clock kickoff. Osherias, they will play Cedric Titus. Brownstown will play Monroe College in a 4 o'clock kickoff. And Dintil, they will play Central with a 4 o'clock kickoff. Gavin Maceo plays McGrath with a 3:30 kickoff. Maldon plays Alphonsus Davis in a 3:30 kickoff. Black River plays Front Technical in a 2 o'clock kickoff. Stead will play Manchester in a 4 p.m. kickoff. Spot Valley plays Kemps Hill in a 2 o'clock kickoff. William Mid plays Mannings, 3:30 kickoff, and Paul Bogo, they will play Clarendon College. And so things are really heating up in the Manning and Acosta Cup. As I said, today is the last day of competitions for first round of the Manning Cup. And I want to kind of tell you the groups that I think the groups have now been confirmed. There's still some things that are outstanding that are to be decided today in the Manning Cup in terms of some of the best third place teams. I think I told you last week about the tentative groups. I think some of them have now been finalized, which we will share with you. But yeah, the groups are very interesting, and it will speak to just how exciting the second round will be for the Manning Cup. Of course, as I said, the second round have already started for the Costa Cup. So let's go through the second round groups quickly. Mona, St. Catherine, Campion, St. Jago, that's group 1. Eltham, Wolmer's Boys, Charlie Smith, Excelsior High. That's group 2. Group 3, Kingston College, Calabar, Tivoli, and Hydel. And Group 4, Georgia Jamaica College, Stats, and Jonathan Grant. And boy, I mean, I would say if you haven't gotten the chance to, run around to get through some of the games so far in the Manning Cup group, the second round in the Manning Cup will be interesting. We will lose champions and former champions, may lose the defending champions. I mean, it is going to be quite a time, I tell you, coming up in the Manning Cup round 2. And of course, in the Costa Cup round of 32, that came with its own surprises so far. And just looking forward to what is to come in those competitions. We're going to go for another break right here on Sports Talk. Stay with us.
Way to get flow prepaid mobile plans. You know the plans that give you real unlimited social media, YouTube, anywhere from unbeatable TikTok, and unlimited time only. That's a 20 gig plan for only $2,900 when you activate through the app. That's about $500 saving.
Easy, convenient way to save on your full 28-day prepaid mobile plan. Unlimited social and anywhere calls is to download the Top and Go app or visit topandgo.com.
Download today and start saving.
Love 101 invites you to set your day before it begins with midnight prayer and praise, Mondays at midnight. It's the third prayer watch, a period of much spiritual activity. You will be strengthened during this time of prayer and praise. Midnight prayer and praise is during the third watch of the night, a time to strengthen yourself spiritually and seek direction. Time to command your day. Midnight prayer and praise, Mondays at midnight through to 3 a.m. early Tuesday morning. 3 hours to set your day with prayers offered in each hour. Midnight prayer and praise is on the family station, Love 101. Get ready for another inspiring time inside Love in the Morning this Monday, October 21, National Heroes Day. Listen throughout the show as we share the history about all the national heroes. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick-Me-Up Devotional at 6 a.m. And cruise with Love on the Radio inside Drive Time Jammings with great music to lift your day. And at 9:30, we bring you something more, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us. This Pick-Me-Up Monday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station. Love 101.
Get inspired.
This is a special announcement from Love 101 and Love Television. Our general offices will be closed to the public on Heroes Day, Monday, October 21, 2024, and will reopen on Tuesday, October 22 at 8:30 a.m. Programs and commercials for the period Friday, October 18 through to Tuesday, October 22 should be submitted by 12 noon on Thursday, October 17, and obituaries and notices by 1:30 p.m. on the same day to ensure scheduling for broadcast. Love 101 and Love TV wish for you and yours a peaceful and reflective Heroes Day.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. All right, let's get into some cricket. Lovely cricket. It hasn't been so lovely. I'm going to start with that. It hasn't been so lovely. Not for the women, not for the men, but let's start with the men. Let's start with the men. You know how I raved about how the West Indies played Sri Lanka, and you know they had good performance and they were one up in the series in the three match T20 series. Yeah, they lost that series 2-1, and the performance went from way high. We know how this is. West Indies, they blow hot and cold. You just never know. You just really don't know the West Indies, man. But, right. So, on the second match, which was played on Tuesday, Sri Lanka made 162 for 5. How much did the West Indies make? They made 89 all out. 89 all out. And I'm like, what? The scoreboard looked dismal. Everything was just dismal in that game. I mean, the bowlers didn't bowl bad, but boy, the batting. Do I need to like? I'm like, we have to. I don't know. And then after the series, one of the things that Coach Sammy was saying was that they weren't really playing to win the series. So I'm like, so why go? Why are we playing? Why we fly all the way to Sri Lanka not to win a series? Come on, man. I mean, I hear about, us unable, West Indies, and it's been said more than over and over again, being unable to play spin, etc., etc. But boy, I tell you, it was bad. Like, that game was bad, and you're saying, all right, fine. They make Sri Lanka, they allow Sri Lanka to, win a second game, so the series can be interesting. Okay, fine, cool. But then we lost the next game. In that game, we made 162, and Sri Lanka they won it by 9 wickets. 9 wickets, 166 for 1. That was Sri Lanka's score, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Then I don't know. I'm hoping that we'll see a better performance from the team in the ODIs, but really and truly, West Indies really gives it. They really will give us they play good for some time, and then I don't know what type of. I don't know what happened after the first match. It's almost like the team was just like, yeah, okay, we'll win one match. Let's just get it on and just go. And I'm really hoping that the team can stay focused for the rest of this series. I know that when we go into this series, there are lots of things that we look forward to get better at and to create a camaraderie and all of those things. But boy, 89 all yeah, unacceptable. 166 is a par score, so I wouldn't even beat them up too much for the third game, but yeah, I'm really hoping that the ODI series will see a better performance from them. And that ODI series actually begins tomorrow. First match is at 4 a.m. Jamaica time. And if I were you, well, let me not say that. The next match is going to be Saturday at 4 a.m. So by the time we come on air, I'll be able to tell you whether or not we've won or lost that series. Boy. I don't know. Anybody has anything to say about West Indies? Because I don't know. It's the hot and cold for me. I can't do it. With this team. But then we had good news with the women. They progressed to the semi-finals of the Women's T20 World Cup. And unfortunately, they lost their semi-finals by just 8 runs to New Zealand yesterday. And I feel it for the team because the team bowled so well. They were able to restrict New Zealand for 128 for 9. And I really feel it for the team. Honestly, Haley Matthews and everybody else, I really feel it for our women. I just think that we kind of started to bat on the back foot, and we were always chasing the game, and we just came up 8 runs short, and that's hard, that's tough. Whether it's 1 run or 5 runs or 10 runs or 20 runs, when you lose a semi-final of a World Cup, that's hard, but I want to say kudos to this team. We know Jamaican Stephanie Taylor, she would have gotten injured in not the last game against England, but the one before that. And to see the team kind of rally and to get to the semi-finals, beating England after 14 tries. Hello. Let's talk about that. Like, you can imagine you're going up in a final group. Let's go back to the group stage, because West Indies would have played England before this 13 times, and every time they played the English women, they would have lost. Finally, they were able to make it to the semifinals. And to beat to get what I think was the easiest semifinal, because the other semifinalists would have been Australia, which is the number one team in terms of, or one of the better teams in terms of women's cricket. And so they got New Zealand because West Indies, they finished at top of their group. So they got what the easier semifinalists, and to come so close, I saw like the tears and all the emotions, and I understood, because it must be difficult for you to think that you had the opportunity to get to the finals of the T20 World Cup. Obviously, the last time we would have gotten this far would have been back in 2018, when both the men and the women actually won the World T20 Cup, World Cup. But yeah, it is. Yeah, it's never easy to lose at the semifinals. I think the disappointment of almost being there is what is. But the semifinalists are Sri Lanka and New Zealand. So we'll see how that match will go. That seems it will be an interesting match. Again, maybe not teams that, maybe Sri Lanka, not Sri Lanka, South Africa. Maybe South Africa was one of the things that were expected, but I'm sure New Zealand wasn't expected. I mean, you had India in that group, and South Africa defeating Australia in the first semi-final was also a surprise. So this women's tournament has definitely not gone to the script. I know many scripts had to be torn up, many stories had to be rewritten for this particular World Cup, and I think we see the same thing, because I'm sure this is pretty much what would have happened earlier on this year when we had the men's T20 World Cup. So the unpredictability of how this tournament is going, I don't know if New Zealand will be able to flip the script on South Africa, or South Africa will be able to flip the script on New Zealand. We'll see. I mean, nobody really expected either of those teams to be in the finals, so that is a good thing, I guess, to see how the other teams, in terms of how these teams have risen above the other challenges of the other teams. So that was interesting to see. Head to head, let's talk about head to head. New Zealand, they have, in a head to head match, clashes against South Africa. They're 10-6. So I suppose New Zealand will go in as some sort of favorites, but South Africa, the South African women really have been playing fantastic cricket in this tournament. They kind of remind me of how USA was in the men's tournament. They really just decide that, hey, this is what they're gonna do, and you can see that they're working together as a team, and it's not depending on one person, the bowlers, not depending on the bowlers or batswomen, but they get the job done as a unit. And it will be tomorrow's final will be very, very interesting in terms of how the momentum. I'm wondering, if South Africa will still be able to push on their momentum. I think they are still they're still the undefeated team in the tournament, because I think New Zealand would have lost against Australia, but South Africa, they won all their games. So yeah, interesting Women's T20 World Cup final. Just in case you are interested to watch it, it comes up 9 a.m. tomorrow morning Jamaica time. Of course, this tournament is taking place in the United Arab Emirates. We're going to go for a final break right here on Sports Talk, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking about some netball.
The time is now. Beat the clock with the Yard Road Heroes Day Flash Sale. Sign up for Yard Road for only $5,300 plus GTT and get a Visa cash card loaded with $15,000 that you can use at the supermarket, gas station, and more. Plus, you can get a Samsung A05 for only $1,999 plus GCT when you sign up. This offer ends soon. Sign up for Yard Road today. Visit discoverflow.co or a Flow store for more details. Conditions apply.
When teeth cycles are difficult to change, it's time for Pampers Easy Up. They're easy to put on and take off, keeping their skin protected. Changes are easy.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Reverb. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs gospel rhythms hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM, grow your mind. Jim, get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving of their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise, and you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Things and Vibe. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. John, your boy, DJ Weaver. It's all here on the family station, Love 101.
You connection. True body and them figure. Keep your mind everything alright. We bow each other. True body and them figure. Keep on rolling. We when we did something. True body.
It's Saturday, 7 p.m. to midnight on Love 101. You're invited to travel in time with music. It's a gospel music machine with the gospel music master.
This is a special announcement from Love 101 and Love Television. Our general offices will be closed to the public on Heroes Day, Monday, October 21, 2024, and will be open on Tuesday, October 22 at 8:30 a.m. Programs and commercials for the period Friday, October 18 through to Tuesday, October 22 should be submitted by 12 noon on Thursday, October 17, and obituaries and notices by 1:30 p.m. on the same day to ensure scheduling for broadcast. Love 101 and Love TV wish for you and yours a peaceful and reflective Heroes Day.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM, and we head into our final segment with some netball news. So earlier this week, the Jamaica Netball, or Netball Jamaica rather, would have announced two sets of teams. The team that will take part in the Fast 5 tournament that will come up in Christchurch, New Zealand, and that tournament will run from November 9 and 10. And of course, a series that I would have spoken about earlier is the Sunshine Girls facing off with the England Roses, because that's what they're called, right? And that series is a two-part series. So the series will be played. Two games will be played in the UK on November 16 and 17, and then the other two games in the series will take place at the National Indoor Sports Centre on November 25 and 26. All right, so let's talk about the Fast Five team, because that tournament will come up first. So the Fast Five team: Amanda Pinckney, Cornelia Walters, Christina Sturridge, Kimon Shaw, Paula Ann Burton, Roxanna McLean, Shadeen Bartley, Simone Gordon, Tiffany Langley, and Zaudi Green. And the co-coaches will be Nardia Hansen and Dalton Hines. Let's start by saying this team will be a fairly young team. Outside of Amanda Pinckney and Kimon Shaw and Simone Gordon. Yeah, this team is a fairly, I'd say this is the transition. That's what I call it. I mean, I call them the transition netball team. I mean, Fast Five is, a specific tournament in terms of what has been created over the years. And so my expectation of the team going into the tournament is I'm not expecting them, let's say, I probably expect them to make the semifinals. But as I said, this is what I call the transition team for the Sunshine Girls. I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm only saying that this team is pretty young, and so I've tempered my expectation as it relates to what is to come. We wish the team all the best, and of course, we will be supporting them to take on the Fast Five series. Of course, the Fast Five tournament is a little bit different because you play a lot of minutes within a short period of time, and there were changes that came to the Fast Five tournament this year. So I'm also looking forward to how we would have prepared for those changes within the Fast to head to New Zealand. Did I expect a few other names? Sure, but as I said, I suspect that we're looking towards the future, and so that's why we kind of went with this team. And of course, with the series with Australia being also so close, I can understand why a team like this, they would have gone with it. But let's talk about the team that will face the England Roses. They have captain Janine Fowler Nemhard, Shanice Beckford, Mishka Creary, Simone Gordon, Rhea Dixon, Abigail Sutherland, Khadijah Williams, Kimon Shaw, Crystal Plummer, Saudi Green, Theresa Beckford, Shamira Sterling Humphrey, Katie Duaney, Latanya Wilson, and Jodian Ward. More of what we expect from the Sunshine Girls. Most of these players named here, at least some of them play in the ANZ tournament. So I can see, them wanting to put a strong team against the England Roses. And of course, just in case you don't know, quick information, the England Roses are now number 2 in the world. Yes, they've moved from number 3 to number 2. So now it's Australia, then England Roses, then the New Zealand, then us at number 4. So interesting that we'll be able to play the number 2 ranked team now in the world, and it will be interesting to see how we will come up against them. As I said, most of this team or a major part of this team plays in the ANZ tournament, as well as many of the girls from the England Roses. So it will be interesting to see what the matchups would look like. Of course, we're talking about Shasha Gay, Henry Bead, head coach, and of course, our specialist coach, Rob Wright, out of Australia. I'm one of the things I'm looking forward to this particular tournament against the England Roses is to see how are we going to transition outside of the world of Captain Janelle Fowler. I don't see Janelle having a lot more years. I'm not even sure if she'll even make it to the next World Cup or netball World Cup. So it will be interesting to see how our team transitions without Janelle, who is a fantastic player. But as we know, when you, especially in these sports that demands a lot on your body, it takes a toll after a while. And when you get to, Janine is not old, but when you get to her age in this sport, it's very hard to keep on playing world class. So maybe she will still play in the ANZ tournament, but when you talk about being able to turn up for your national squad, going to these world class tournaments might be a difficulty. But we'll look forward, as I said, to see how the team will transition without her. What are the plans? I know that there's Shanice Beckford there. And yeah, so almost like when now Romelda is no longer kind of no longer in the national setup, we had to transition from the day and age of Romelda A. King George now to Janelle Fowler Reid. I want to see what the transition will look like when Janelle hands up her national representation, because we know that Romelda is still playing in the ANZ tournament. So, I'm just looking forward to see who will become the next star shooter, I suppose, for the Sunshine Girls. But I'm definitely looking forward to the tournament coming up, and I know that the team craves your support. You have enough time to plan for it. The tournament the series is in about a month and odd, November 25 and 26 at the National Indoor Sports Center. And we're looking on to give the girls good support, just as how we've been supporting the little boys. I'm hoping that we can fill the National Indoor Sports Center to support our Sunshine Girls. And, as all the, in terms of issues that are going on, because I know that there's some issues happening also with the Leader Robinson courts at the National Stadium, especially when it rains, it gets flooded, and just some other things. But we are looking forward to see how best we can continue to support sports in Jamaica. It's very important, paramount, that we do continue to invest and support sports in Jamaica. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially because most of these players, especially our netballers, they have a 9 to 5. They go to work, and then after they find time to go to training, and outside of the girls that play in the ANC tournament, the other girls, they can't play netball full time because it's just not right now full time available for them to do so. So I'm hoping that within the next few years that some sort of investment can be made in just not even netball, but just all sports in general, but netball, because netball has been maybe, not maybe, but has been the most consistent in terms of world ranking. They've never fallen out of the top 4 in the world, and there are more teams added to in terms of where netball touches, and this team continues to give good performances at tournament and continue to be in the top 5 in the world. That has to say something about or infrastructure, but not only the infrastructure, but that we have to make some sort of investment in this, because it's obviously a return on investment. I'm just saying, but we do this sports talk every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. It has been a fantastic show. I'll catch you next week right here on the family station. Have a great afternoon, and we return to the gospel train.